Previously on Coruscant Nights.
A Trade Federation cruiser has crashed on the planet. The vessel is in working order, we believe, but still occupied by hostiles. The hostiles have taken hostages as well. Your mission, to put it simply, is to negotiate with these hostiles. We'd like them removed, and we'd like our hostages returned to the planet. These are citizens of Coruscant, respected individuals that cannot be threatened in this way.
Can you tell us more about this, you said, Trade Federation cruiser?
The vessel seems to be operational, but we cannot let it take off until we've recovered the hostages. Even once we do, I'm not sure we can let it depart. The materials on the vessel are paramount to the future success of the Senate.
Pay attention to the details. You never know what'll pop up again.
The orange hiss of a fusion cutter cutting just above your heads as you are traveling toward the cockpit. I had flipped a dark side point, and someone's cutting in to the ship, and they are right above you.
Okay. Mark, I want that fusion cutter.
So we're in this...
Yes.
You want the fusion cutter?
I'm announcing my intentions. I don't know if that's how this works.
So I was going to suggest that we flip a light side point and have this point be in between two blast doors. And then if we could get to one of the blast doors, get into the computer and close it, that's going to put one more space between us and the outside.
Okay.
Does that work for a light side point?
I'm cool with that. Is there any way to do that and also get my fusion cutter?
Probably not. Also, fusion cutter uses melee, and I don't think you have any ranks in that, so...
Though you can use it as a tool to just do stuff.
I'm trying to...
True.
Yeah, that's what I want it for. I just want it as a tool. Can I just slap this guy as he comes through the hole and take his fusion cutter?
I would be happy to close the blast door with you on the opposite side of it, if you would like.
He's been trying to do this all along. Is there anyone else behind him? Or is this like a lone guy trying to sneak into the ship?
You can't really tell. Yeah, you don't see who's on the other side of it. At least not yet.
What I want the fusion cutter for is to try and make a hole in the ship so people can escape through a different route. And then maybe I don't have to be seen helping them.
How about this? I will prepare the door. You wait for whoever is coming in. Take the fusion cutter. We close the door when you are on the other side of it.
That sounds good. A smash and grab. That's what I want to try.
Okay. So I'm going to flip that light side point so that there is a blast door, and then TC-44 waddles over to the terminal that would control it.
I'm poised. I'm poised and ready to spring into action as soon as this guy wiggles through.
So you have a plan, and as soon as you are in place, a large, thick piece of metal falls from the ceiling, crashes on the ground, and a white-clad, armored clone, someone that you are both very familiar with, drops down from the ceiling with their blaster in hand, and they start kind of sweeping around looking for targets, potential hostiles. And
should we roll initiative?
Yeah, you should.
We knew this guy was coming, so we're gonna roll cool.
Cool. Okay. So many successes.
So is the clone rolling vigilance since he doesn't know what's down here? I mean, clones have pretty good vigilance, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's appropriate, and I think that a clone is pretty good at dropping into a strange place and
just shooting people.
Yeah, and coming out on top.
But we still very much beat the clone, unless there are more clones.
There's just one right now.
I really don't want to stick around. I just want to smack. I don't even care about killing him. I just want to smack this guy in the back of the helmet, grab his fusion cutter, and run like crazy.
Well, we have the first two initiative slots, so do your thing.
Let's see. Well, I've got my gauntlets, my reinforced gauntlets. So
You do.
the trooper lands with his back to me. Do I roll brawl then?
Brawl, so it's going to be 2 purple.
Okay. Do I have the element of surprise, which would enable me with a boost?
I would say so, yeah, because you described it that way.
Okay.
No.
What? How? The dice are against me.
I mean, here's the thing. So for those listening, Smyysk got 2 failures and 4 advantages. So a success would have done damage, right? Or stunned this clone or knocked them out or something. But so you didn't do that, but you got 4 advantages, which to me seems a lot like something really great happened, like you got some fusion cutters.
Oh, yeah. I grabbed them fusion cutters.
You may have dropped them. That's definitely enough for somebody to drop.
Pick
I
it
don't know
up.
if it's enough for you to
Is it enough for me to
grab
pick
them.
it up? Game master? Man who decides?
You have a
I do have a maneuver, if you say I do.
Yeah, you can tell me how this clone, your attack did nothing or failed, but also this clone dropped, or you grabbed some fusion cutters off of him.
All right, so he dropped through the hole, and I'm a little bit behind him. So my blow never landed, or my blow just didn't do any damage.
It didn't hit.
Because I really like the idea of me just slapping this guy and him spinning like a top without any real damage. It's just like a surface spin. But it was enough for him to drop his fusion cutters and me pick them up. Or maybe I just startled him, which is less impressive, but it achieves the same.
Yeah, I mean, you're like a strong,
Oh, no. Okay.
prize fighter. Yeah.
So I don't manage to hit him. But I do that big monster roar with my hands up, and I look like Bigfoot, and I just...
You mean Ol Skazborg?
Ol Skazborg, yes. And it freaks him out, and he drops it out of startlement, and I pick it up. And is that enough advantage for me to run?
You probably need to take 2 strain to run, right? For a second maneuver.
Yeah, because I think your
Okay.
first maneuver is just to pick them up and have them in your
Okay.
possession. But
I would willingly take strain.
yeah, I think it's usually kind of worth it. Okay, so you got yourself some fusion cutters. You've got a scared clone, and this scared clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A scared clone is a dangerous clone.
Oh, sure. Scared clone might shoot first and ask questions after.
And
Well,
then
I'm running like
Smyysk,
heck.
runs towards TC in the blast door. And TC's going to try and close it with a computer's
Oh.
check.
This is just like extra detail, but I do the Indiana Jones slide if I make it. I do the Indiana
Even though
Jones
it's not
slide.
even it's not closing or anything.
No, I just do
Yeah.
it for the dramatic effect.
For cinematic narrative purposes, TC's turn is happening
Yes.
at the same time as this movement.
Great.
Right.
TC is happy to close the door on the Smyysk. How difficult is this computer's check?
I think that it is actually easy, but there is a setback, and that is because TC is not currently familiar with the interface. May have been at some point, but it's all a little bit... It's not that TC can't do it, it's just a little bit foreign to TC. Feels new, even if it is something that they have used before.
All right, so I'm rolling a yellow, 2 greens, a purple, and a black. And I want to boost because TC loves being part of the action.
So
This is what TC's circuits were made for.
does TC have the robot equivalent of adrenaline pumping through his wires?
I think he's got something. There's something there. There's a little bit of extra, I don't know what droid batteries are. A little bit of extra energy and radiation going through him right now.
Fusion cells?
Yeah, his fusion cells are overclocked.
Okay, cool.
2 successes, 3 advantages, 1 triumph.
All right, well, take it away.
Smyysk grabs the fusion cutter off the floor as the clone reels back in surprise and terror. And as TC sees that she has done that, he flicks his wrist and his little interface pops out. He plugs it into the scomp-link port. It turns right, it turns left, and the door starts going down. No, the door, this is a Trade Federation ship. The door starts to close like an iris, and Smyysk runs towards the door and dives through the iris. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Which closes with a loud bang just as her feet make it through. I don't think that covers my advantages in Triumph. I think 3 advantages is that it's pretty darn locked now. It sounds
more like my Triumph.
It seems like it's pretty darn locked. Not to mention the fact that this clone no longer has his fusion cutters, which might unlock it.
Yeah, I think for that Triumph, that clone didn't see either of us. Like, he saw Smyysk, but what he saw, was that a Trandoshan or was that, like, the Zillo Beast? He's not sure.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You're trying to stay incognito.
Ooh, that was close. I land gracefully in a bit of a cartwheel tumble and spring up again like a gymnast.
You almost didn't make it.
Almost didn't. It still did.
Somehow.
You're so mean to me, TC. I brushed myself off.
I'm not sure that I can be mean. I am just me.
Well, you sure can't be nice. And I clip my new fusion cutter to my belt.
Blame my programming. I am blaming my programming. I'm not sure that my programming is me.
I don't know what to do with a droid that has an existential crisis. This is not the kind of diplomacy I was expecting, so I ignore that and start scanning the hallway for the next threat or whatever else is coming. Are there alarms going, or is it just...
No, it sort of looks like the ship is on almost kind of a reserve power where there's dim lights that surround the ceiling of the bridge. You look around the bridge and it seems like it's in low power mode, perhaps reserve power mode. Dim lights surround the periphery of the ceiling. In this bridge, there are a series of computers that have seats in front of them where the operators would chart courses, do astrogation stuff. There are 3 doors. The one that you closed behind you, that the clone was behind, and then one to the right, one to the left of that door. All similarly, they're sort of circular, iris-like.
And is there anyone else around?
No one else is in here.
No one else.
And it seems that that clone isn't coming through that door anytime soon. You can hear some kind of rattling of the ship. There is some activity going on. When you entered this room, there were other clones attempting to enter via fusion cutter in different hallways and chambers of the ship.
So we're trapped.
There are other ways out.
What other ways out are there?
There are 2 other doors out, right?
That's right.
Yeah, 2 more doors. So TC says,
Miss Smyysk, perhaps you would like to look out the window and see where the clones are breaking in. I will check the ship's computers to see if there is a lower ramp and to see where life forms are stationed currently. I suppose we should talk about this. And we have a moment with that clone trapped behind the door. What should we do in this situation?
Diplomacy no longer seems to be the issue here. My negotiations ended.
It seems that the clones have gotten new orders to take the ship by force.
I go over to the porthole and look out. I mean, I see activity, but is it like a bay window, or are we talking something small?
It's a curved, large glass window. You can get a very clear view of the. It's evening. The sun is starting to set behind the tall buildings out here on downtown Coruscant, and yeah, you can get a pretty clear view of things. You can see the barricade that's been built around the ship. You can see some smoke kind of billowing up from above, just about above where you stand. This is probably some smoke from, who knows, it could be a grenade that a clone dropped, or it could just be off of the hole that was just cut above you. But yeah, you can basically see the front half of the ship. You can't really see anything behind.
But what I do see is just not very encouraging. It's just action.
Yeah,
and
not too encouraging.
activity and chaos everywhere.
Yep. Unless there's something specific that you're looking for, nothing is really jumping out at you.
Can I do a scan of decks for life forms and potential other ways off the ship?
Yeah, you can do that. And so that's going to be a computers check.
So yeah, TC would like to plug into one of the terminals, try and get a layout of where the most people are, and hopefully they're not near clones and they're not having to fight anybody right now, and we can make our way towards them.
Okay.
Because he thinks that is what the plan is to save as many people as possible, even though he isn't. He's confused right now. He's not sure whether he should be helping the clones or helping the people, because the people are obviously separatists, so they're obviously bad, but they're also people.
I'm not
And
sure
the clones
either.
are clones, so they're obviously good.
And a lot of people there are just refugees, so they're citizens of the area. Right?
Are they refugees or are they traitors?
As a diplomat, it's not my place to decide.
And that is the confusion that TC is having right now.
That is the confusion. We should probably just try to find people.
I think TC would like to plug in and see what happens.
Okay. So this is a big ship. It's lots of information. Let's make it a average check.
Got any setbacks for me?
I kind of want to give you the setback for the same reason I gave you earlier, that this is
Okay.
just a foreign object. I think parceling through this information is more work than half of the new work is looking at something brand new.
Okay. I'm going to flip one. I'm flipping. Don't forget we have a reroll still. 1 failure and 1 threat. Cool. He plugs into the computer and says,
These computers do not want to talk to me. I don't know what I did wrong.
I know how they feel, TC.
TC looks at Smyysk with large, dead eyes.
I can tell we're going to be best friends.
We will be working together for years to come, I am sure.
You are attempting to get anything from this computer terminal and aren't having any luck. And I think TC sees a little glimmer of something changing on the computer console. And there's a little glimmering light that's started to blink.
I do not know what this is, but my guess is that somebody knows we are here.
All right, let's go. So you didn't find any scan of people then, did you?
I did not.
There's no point in me trying.
Do you see anywhere out the windows that looks like it may be thinner hull or clear of clones?
Let's see.
Possibly towards the bottom of the ship.
That's what I was thinking, that we should head down. If we can't salvage this situation, then at the moment, all I can think to do is just head to the bottom of the hole and see if I can create, because I don't really want to just exit out the main ramp or head for anything like that, because they'll be congested. It'll be just not the
I'm wondering if
safest
there's
way to get out.
a place on the bottom half of the ship that may not be within eye shot of the clone barricade.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we roll something to spot that?
Well, how are you going to see underneath a ship?
We're going to look. We're going to lean over real hard.
Wait, so okay. We are on a spaceship, which, travels in a couple of dimensions. And so I have to imagine that it's a bit like a submarine where you've got a little periscope that can extend up top and a bit of a periscope that extends below. Because in space, you would actually need to look in all of those directions, right?
So the ship probably has some...
Do I have to flip a light side point to invent a completely rational feature that this ship would have in reality?
This is Star Wars. It's not rational. I feel like there would actually just be windows on the floor rather than some sort of periscope.
See,
there's windows ahead.
This is
and
yet
there's
another
windows down
reason
there.
that the Mon Calamari are where it's at right now, because their ships have windows on the floors.
Their ships do have windows on the floors. I don't think this ship has windows on the floors. It doesn't have a periscope, but it probably has some like sensor readouts that have an idea of what's going on the ship, what's going on outside of the ship, and they just sort of have a systems, report of what's going on. But TC, you failed.
TC failed to get into deeper computer systems. Are there surface computer systems that we could access without really having to look hard?
Yeah, there's
just like a ship layout.
Yeah, this is the bridge. So yeah,
we've actually got ship layout and all that on our data pads from Executive Officer Pennell.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Good memory.
So I look at my data pad, look at the ship, the blueprint of the ship, and see what the layout is.
Yeah, when you pull out your data pad and look at the ship, you get a little green holographic rotating little image, little model of the ship. You can zoom in, you can click on certain areas to get kind of a better idea of what's going on. This isn't just an image of this type of ship. This is this ship specifically.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not an important question, but a question that TC has looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything about this ship different than a typical Lucra Hulk class ship? Anything that makes this one special? Because when Pennell was talking to them earlier, he did say that the contents of this ship were very important. Whether he was talking about the Coruscant citizens being held there or something else, that question crosses TC's cybernetic brain.
Okay, so Smyysk and TC-44 sit in the bridge of this ship. You're looking for direction. You're looking for any kind of lead to follow. TC was trying to figure out if this ship seemed any different than other ships. And from an outside perspective, I think it's pretty hard to tell. Do you want to do a check or something?
What kind of check could he do?
It'd probably be perception if you're just looking out the windows.
Would it be me, or is it TC making this roll?
You could potentially do a combined check.
My perception's okay.
-3 greens.
I've got 2 yellow.
Yeah, so it would end up being 2 yellows and a boost. So TC asks Smyysk,
do you notice anything different about this ship? Either from the schematics or from the view?
And I now roll, or I answer
you
before
should roll.
I roll?
And as I said, it doesn't appear that anything is too different. So I'm going to make this a hard check. So that's going to be 3 purple. It's okay.
1 success and 2 threats.
I see something different, but it doesn't necessarily make things easier or clearer.
Mm-hmm.
Could those be the threats?
Yeah, I think that is the threat, because it's hard to tell if there's anything different about this ship. It looks to be a pretty standard separatist control ship, drop ship. And as you look around, you can see the ship seems to be pretty badly damaged on the bottom underside. And you can tell just by the smoke coming off of it. It seems to be coming mostly from underneath the ship, close to the back engines. And nothing is really striking you as unusual about the ship, but the ship has some tall communication relay devices, like towers with satellite dishes towards the back behind the bridge that you're now on. And you have, been working with the Senate for at least a year, maybe more, and you're in a fair amount of meetings, some that are, sort of battle and military adjacent. It looks like the communication relay on this ship is a little different. It looks like it's been modified, perhaps by the crew. Something about this ship isn't quite fit into the typical cookie cutter of a separatist cruiser.
And just what that is that something that can be discerned visually, or what did I need to
I think
get into a system?
You did a perception check visually. You're noticing that this ship isn't really your run-of-the-mill separatist.
But I don't know just what it is that's different about it quite yet.
No, you don't.
Just that it's
Correct.
got odd communications arrays, things
Okay.
that are out of the norm.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're, you didn't, we didn't get the boost in there. One advantage. Oh, that only just cancels out one threat. Never mind. I was wondering if it's even different than the communications arrays that were part of droid control. Like, is there any similarity there, or is it something entirely different?
It seems entirely different. Unrelated technology.
Okay.
Well, I am not sure what to do with this information.
Yeah, me either.
Shall we move on and see if things clarify
Yes.
through time and experience?
I'll flip dark side, and
Great.
both of your comlinks are going off, blowing up. You're getting blown up on your comlinks.
Hello?
Or is it a message?
It depends on how quickly you pick it up.
TC picks his up at the speed of electronic thought.
This is TC.
Hello, is TC Unit. It's wonderful to hear from you. This is Executive Officer Pinnell. Are you free at the moment, and is Junior Ambassador Smyysk available?
Free as in not captured by the clones you sent in? Yes, we are free. Please hold.
Am I?
He puts him on hold.
Wait, do I not also have him on the phone, or do I have someone else on the
No,
comm?
TC's going to transfer it over to...
Wait, why'd he call you before he called me?
Called you both at the same time.
TC just picked up faster. TC's going to transfer it over to Smysk's collar, which is external because TC... It just sounds like TC's talking to himself.
Well, I'm going to pretend that this is because you're kind of supposed to be there as my secretary and not because
That is untrue.
he could
I am prime negotiator.
outrank me. My ego can't handle that.
Listen, I've seen some things.
Pinnell, what's going on?
Oh, Junior Ambassador. I'm glad you are faring well. How's the occupation of the vessel going?
You tell me. I can tell you the negotiation of the vessel is not going that great.
That's disappointing. The ship is... Well, they're putting up a bit of a fight with the clones right now. It's a shame that we couldn't have solved this on more, diplomatic maneuvers, but here we are.
You never even gave me a chance. I was talking with them. They were willing to listen, at least listen to me. What made you go in guns blazing?
Well, the information that we need and the ship, it's vital to the success of this operation. We really can't just let these issues go idly by. So, yes, we've done what we've needed to do.
What information is this?
That's on a need-to-know basis at this point.
I am on the ship that you need to know the information about. Is there any way for me to tell from the, I'm asking Game Master Doug, is there any way for me to find out
Is
via
there
the
a
computer?
role? Is there a... You're not being charming.
No, I mean, I'm kind of like on the sides of fringes of getting shot at, so I'm not at my most diplomatic. I'm a junior ambassador.
Could it be coercion or maybe leadership? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, okay, so maybe let me try a different
You're yelling
tack.
at him. I feel like coercion might be the way to go.
But also, I'm already here. I can get to some consoles. What is it that you need to know? Maybe I can find this out for you and save some time and lives.
Yeah, I think you can do this with any social skill. It does sound like you're kind of trying to communicate your importance as an ambassador, so it could possibly be leadership, I think.
Leadership would be
Leadership
good.
seems right.
Yes,
Or
leadership.
coercion.
Preferably leadership.
Okay. I think this is going to be a opposed check. Red and a purple. Best of luck.
Got any setbacks in there?
The red is a setback, Mark. Why are you trying to add?
No, the red is a challenge. Red is a challenge.
You're my setback, TC-44.
It should probably be a setback because Pinnell doesn't care about the two of
But
us.
I am in proximity to, the situation at hand, and whereas the clones have to fight their way onto the ship, I'm already there. And ostensibly, he and I are supposed to be on the same side, so he has no reason to not tell me and trust me with the information.
Unless it's classified.
I'm an ambassador!
It sounds like you have a way to remove a setback.
I think there should be a couple setbacks on
TC,
there.
shut up!
I don't know why he's doing this to you. Okay, one setback because Penel is losing his patience for this entire excursion.
Shut up!
Okay, yeah, you rolled really, really well.
4 successes, 1 triumph, and 1 threat.
Despite TC-44's input.
I would have argued for like 2 more setbacks.
I guess I forgot that this was probably the best role that you can make is your leadership.
Uh-huh.
So basically, I just...
So what do you
Yeah,
tell...
I impress him with maybe I name drop a few more senators, saying they would be most displeased that I've been put into this situation with such little knowledge, and that I've got connections and popular, because I would like to... My character's popular, okay? That's how I got to this leadership point. And I've got friends in high places, and I'm a friend in high place. And maybe I'm just not the kind of person that Penel really, in the end, believes that he can push around without giving some kind of... At some point, he knows he's not really the boss of me.
Yeah, I think that you do some name dropping, and you kind of flex your muscles, your ambassador delegate muscle rank to Penel, who has just taken this new position. And Penel, I think you make him feel a bit threatened and scared, but that also annoys him.
Right.
And he's maybe a little worried about getting in trouble, doing something wrong his first week on the job. And not trying to sound too threatened, Penel offers you another option. Very well, if you must know, and if negotiations have failed to this point, the ship is important to us and important to the new regime, this new empire. There's information on this ship that I'm told that the Emperor himself would like. Information about his enemies and their whereabouts. This ship...
Where can this information be found? Oh, sorry.
Please let me finish. This ship is one of several that has either gone rogue or planned to at some point, and they've been in communication about locations for safe houses, areas that could birth a rebellion that must be stamped out as soon as possible. That's why it's very important that this ship not be destroyed, but this information be retrieved. If it's inaccessible from the bridge, I would assume that the information is archived somewhere down in the mainframes of the ship. We didn't plan on just going in there and taking it. We would have sent our best in, our brightest in, to decode it over the next few days. But if you can get down to the mainframe, should be, I don't know, you've got the schematics. Get down there and get it. Get off of the ships. The clones have been authorized to use force, so do be careful, Junior Ambassador and TC Unit. If you need anything else, I likely will be occupied.
Well, tell them not to
Goodbye.
hit me. Remind them not to hit any beautiful... No. And I'm still talking into my comlink, like, remind them not to hit any beautiful Trandoshans they might be coming across in the hallways. TC units are okay. You should probably shoot it just to be safe.
So you've got a little bit of info. You've basically got a new mission from Penel. Yeah. What do you want to do? How do you want to handle it?
I click off the comlink. I'm kind of give TC a little side eye. Like, not really sure how he's gonna play this.
TC attempts to side eye back. It just looks like a regular eye.
I say, well, I guess we'd better get down to those mainframes. And I clicky through my...
I suppose we had better.
I click through my data pad, and I spot where the mainframe is. It's clearly labeled.
Is it easy to spot on our maps?
Yeah, you don't have to roll for that.
Is there a faster way down that does not involve going through an angry clone?
Lifts. There's lifts, right? How many levels would there be to get down to those?
Probably like 3 or 4.
I can tell you that there are also air ducts.
Are those the kind that you can shoot up or no?
No. The kind that send air between one room and another.
Oh, those. Okay, that doesn't help me.
They are large enough to fit most sentient beings, should the need arise.
I'm gonna head for a lift first. The air ducts are not usually my first choice. And
a lift is highly preferable.
Yes. I spot one nearby and say, "Come along, TC."
Do we spot one nearby?
Yeah, when you look at the map, you can see that if you enter through the left of the center doorway, you can head down a hallway to a lift that will take you down.
All right, so we head out that left doorway towards the lift. Hopefully the halls are abandoned.
Yeah, you head out into this hallway. Looking forward, you can see that there is some blaster fire on the wall.
Like there had been a fight here?
There had been a fight here, and some smoke is rising from these little holes in the wall. So it was pretty recent.
Very recent.
I look one way, and then I look the other, and then I look behind me, because usually the clone's behind me, and I stride over to the nearest lift, and it pops open.
TC gestures.
Ambassadors first.
I'm already inside.
Oh, excuse me, junior ambassadors.
And TC joins. Thanks for listening to this episode of Coruscant Nights. Coruscant Nights is a production of Nightcast Creative. To find out more about us and our projects, visit nightcastcreative.com. Thanks to Doug and Nikki for joining in this episode. Check the show notes for links to their websites where you can check out their amazing art. And last but not least, don't forget about Donate for Destiny. Influence our Destiny pool and make a difference in children's lives. Check out nightcastcreative.com/destiny for more info and a link to donate. A few weeks ago, I got the opportunity to guest on a podcast called The Order of Podcasters. If you like spooky mystery podcasts, which I'm pretty sure you do, you might want to check it out. The first episode of the story arc that I played on came out today. Check out The Order of Podcasters wherever you get your podcasts.
Glad you made it. This one is going to be dangerous.
Dangerous?
I expect much resistance.
And the main threat?
You know, the usual. Ghosts, demons, zombies, aliens, and then the greatest threat of them all. Vanity, desperation, despair. Things that drive our enemy to seek contact from the other side. Is your Order of Podcasters ready for this one?
Always.
The Order of Podcasters, available now on your favorite podcast app.